Yeah, I don't think I should be in here with these. Those horns look proper dangerous. Right, so first off, obviously you're going to need to get yourself a bit of space. I mean, that can be a field or it can be a big open area like we've got here. You're then going to want to go and get yourself a little house, somewhere for your cows to sleep. And we're going to go into the construction menu, and we've got up to animals, and we've got this section here. Now, this is kind of important. Depending on which one you go for, depends on what you're going to get out of it. So we've got the first one there, 15 grand. That's going to hold 7 cows. But there is a warning there. It says, attention, this is a breeding barn, therefore milk production is not possible. Yeah, so if you're going to put one of these down, just make sure you're not expecting milk, because you're not going to get anything out of it. This is the sort of thing that you're going to fatten up your cows and then sell them on. Or potentially, you know, you could put like your baby cows in, get them up to a certain age, and then move them into another barn. But just bear that in mind. This one, yeah, you're not going to get any milk from it. Now, once you get to this point, you press A, place it down. You get the option. Do you want to customize the fence cow pasture? So if we say yes, we can then extend the fence. So we just go like that. So it starts off with a 7 capacity. You know, you just come around pressing A where you want it to go. And when you're done, you just make sure it links back into that green post. Press A again, and you're done. It then says, do you want to plant the meadow for the cow pasture? Now, if you say no, it's going to leave it as the ground that's already there. So currently it's got asphalt, concrete ground, so it'll leave it as that. If you was to say yes, it's going to put a meadow in. Yeah, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, obviously that's the first pen. So we've got the option then to go for a second one. Now again, this is just for breeding purposes. So if you used to place this down, you're not going to get any milk from it. So just bear that in mind. So we'll do like that. Spin it round. I mean, you've got the option once you've actually put it to where you want it to go. We'll go for about there. Well, on this one, you've got the option to customize it. So if we press the right stick in, you can have these solar panels on the roof, yes or no. And then again, we'll come out of that and we'll place it down. Do you want to customize the fence? It works exactly the same as the pen. You know, you stretch it out like a fence, job's a good one. So we're going to say no on that one, and we're going to put a meadow in as well. Then we'll come back at that and we'll go on to the next one. Again, this is another breeding barn. Yeah, so we'll go for that. We'll zoom out a little, that's a bit better. We've got the option to customize. We can put some solar panels on the roof if you wanted to. And then once we're done with that, we'll place it down about there. We're going to leave the fence as it is, and I'm going to have no meadow. So we placed it down, and you'll see in the fence area there, it's the concrete ground. Other than these two where we put the meadow in, yeah, that's just going to be straight on concrete. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the best for your cows anyway, but alright, we'll carry on. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is going to be the first barn that you're actually going to be able to get some milk from. So we'll click on that. There we are. So we've got the option to customize again. You can put solar panels on, and also you can come down and change the color. Now, if you've got the unlimited color ones, it's going to, you know, have your favorites on there if you wanted it to. We've got I'd say a little bit of a pink cow barn. There's not a lot. I mean, it's just that strip there, mind you. But, yeah, you do you. It's entirely up to you what you go for. So we'll just place it down. You have the option to change the fence if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave it as it is. And then you have the option to put the meadow in. Now, that obviously will become important in a little bit later. So then we'll come down to the last two. We've got this one here. So it's going to cost you 500 grand. It's going to hold... I haven't got enough space. My area's not big enough. It's going to hold 96 cows as standard. Again, you know, if you wanted to extend your pasture area, you could do. You know, you could get your capacity up, and we are going to put a meadow in it. And then that one, you have got the option to customize it again, solar panel, and then you can change the color. Oh, that's got a bit more color changeableness on it. So we'll go there like that. Obviously, there you are. It's going to change the color of the sides to whatever color you've picked. And then the last one is going to be the big boy. Now, this has got the feeding robot on it. So we'll spin it around that way just so I can fit it in with everything else. And this is interesting one, this is. I mean, it's the most expensive, 700 grand. but it does sort of allow a little bit more flexibility for you. So we're going to place it down. Well, you have got the option of customizing. So you've got your solar panels on the roof, and then you've got your color change option if you wanted to go for that. So once you're done, place it down. Yeah, we're going to leave the fence as it is. We're going to put the meadow in. No problem. Right. So now we've got all these cow barns, which is interesting. So you got to go around and then obviously put your cows in. No problem. So you come up to the paw print just like that. You do have the option to go to the animal dealer with a trailer, but I'll show you what I mean. Right. So if we come down here, we'll put these cows in here. Right. So we'll press yes. We'll put the maximum amount in. So 109 is going into this one, and we've got a 10 grand, well, nearly 11 grand delivery fee. Yeah, so if you was to go to the animal dealer with a trailer, you'd save that 10 grand, but then you've got to buy the trailer in the first place. So you got to weigh up which is going to be better for you. Then obviously, yeah, you put your cows in. Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you very much. Job's a good one. Okay, and on this one, we'll open up the cow barn door like that. In there is going to be your feed and your straw going in. Now, where your feed's concerned is when it comes back to, well, it starts off with the meadow that we first, when we placing the buildings down, we had the option to put the meadow on. Now, they will eat the food at the meadow. I say the food, the grass, right? But you've got the percentages there. So this is going to be how much it's going to help them, whether it's with reproduction, health, production of your milk, that sort of thing. So for just a straight meadow grass and you didn't put any extra food in, it's going to help 40% towards the upkeep of your cows. You know, their production, they're bringing the milk, they're reproducing, that sort of thing. So it's the lower end of it all. Yeah, bear that in mind. Now, you can put straight grass in if you wanted to as well. It's going to be on the same sort of level as the meadow. So 40% probably the least you need to do. Then we jump up to the silage. Now, obviously, if you've seen the how to make silage video, jobs are good, and that's where you're going to get it from. So you put silage in, you're going to get 80% effectiveness against your production of your milk and your reproduction and all that sort of thing. Now, hay, the same. So if you was to mow the grass and then put the tedder over it, the hay is going to give you 80%. What you really want to go for is the TMR, so 100%. So that's going to be a combination of your silage, your hay, and some straw. Now, go check out our how to make TMR video just to show you how to make it all. But that's going to be the best thing for you to be putting in for your cows. And then you've got your milk taking out point just there. And then all the way down the other side is going to be your slurry taking out point. Now, all the buildings should have a slurry taken out point just there for you. So this one is going to have your animal dialogue box, your milk coming out, obviously your food goes in, same sort of setup, it's just smaller. And then obviously your slurry taken out point is just that side. You can see the pipe through the windows. There we are. Now for the actual pasture itself, a little bit different. Yeah, you don't have a slurry taken out point because it basically seeps back into the ground. Alright, fair enough. Animal dialogue box there, loading in point, and then you have got a point that you can put bales in if you wanted to, but you've got to put water in. Because it's a pen, an outside pen, pasture, whatever you want to call it, you are going to need to put water into that one. Then we'll come across to this one, so the second of the breeding barns. Now don't get me wrong, right? So these here, the pasture, this one, and then that one, you're not going to get any milk, but you are going to breed from it. But the other three, you are going to get milk and you can breed in there as well. I'll leave that one entirely up to you. So you got your animal dialogue box just there. You then got your loading in point for your food and your straw just there. No slurry taken out point. Interesting indeed. Then we'll come over to this one. As you said before when we was placing them down, you don't go for the meadow, you're going to get whatever's on the ground when you place it down. So just bear that in mind. And we'll come up here, and we've got our loading in point for your food and your straw just there. Then we'll come out of this one, and we've got your animal dialogue box just there. And again, no slurry taken out point. So does that mean that if you're breeding cows, they don't produce slurry? Interesting indeed. Now, onto the robot barn. So this is something a little bit different. So you've got your milk taken out point, you got your animal dialogue box just there, and then we'll open that gate like that. You can put the food and the straw in there if you wanted to, entirely up to you. We'll put some animals in for this one actually, and we'll come down, because these are not just cow barns. Whilst they're called cow barns, and you can put cows in, if you come to your animal dialogue box, and we'll go down to the bottom, we've got these here, the water buffalo. Oh, we're going to put some of these in, right. We'll put 10 of these in. Obviously, a new animal to 25. Yes, we'll have 10 of the little ones. We'll have 10 of the teenager ones. And then we'll have 10 of the adult ones. There we are. 10 in. Jobs are good in. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at these new animals. Ah, there they are. Oh, look at that little baby one. A baby water buffalo. That's ace. I mean, him over there, those horns look like they can do some damage. So maybe we'll steer clear of that one, because that looks looks like it's going to take you out, no problem. I'll just have a little jump around. Go on, you go have some fun in the pasture. Oh, fair enough. Now, back to the old robot situation. Now, this building is exactly the same as that building, as in you've got all the inputs where they are. So you've got your slurry down the other end, but you've got this bit. Now, this is interesting indeed, because you've got a robot up at this end, and you're going to put your silage in there, you're going to put your straw and then your hay in that one, and it's going to make your TMR for you. Interesting indeed. Now, what you will need is, we've tried it before on making the TMR. You don't need mineral feed if you're using the animal feeder trailer. On this you do. It won't work without mineral feed, and you're going to put it in here. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but yeah, entirely up to you. Now, I spent ages testing this barn, and I couldn't get this to open. I don't understand why it's not opening. I haven't found a switch why it won't open, but it won't. But what you can do is put your stuff here, because the hatch marking areas come just outside. And you can use your loose stuff. You can use bales if you wanted to. Now, I've got a load of bales here, and I've got a load of mineral feed. So I'm going to load all this in to the robot. We're going to see if it actually comes out, because during testing, the actual animation for the robot didn't seem to work. Okay, let's get it all loaded in then. Right, so last batch of bales going in, and if you get this, where I basically put a stack of 4 together, and at the top load, yeah, it just sort of hovered there after the first ones just fell in. And just come up to it, give them a nudge, and then they go in, no problem. So you haven't got to worry about that. Now, there is one quick thing before we get onto the old robot itself. Now, obviously, we put in the straw, you know, we put in the silage, we put in the straw, and then we put in the hay for your TMR. That's great. But you can also put the straw in for bedding. Now, you'd only put straw in the bedding if you wanted to get some manure. If you don't put straw in, you're going to get slurry. Now, obviously, there is no manure taking out point. So, in the construction menu, and up to buildings and silos, if we scroll down, you'll find this manure heap there. So, you just need to put it in sort of an area that's close enough. Have I run out of space now? Oh, there you are. So, we'll put it down like that. And then if you've put straw in, manure is going to form in here. You got the icon there to load up from a trailer. So just pull your trailer there and it's going to load up, no problem. Or you got the option to shovel it out with some sort of shovel. Right, now, bearing in mind that obviously you're going to need to put some straw in. And the bales went into this building for the silage. No problem, straight in here. When I put the straw in, it didn't work. That's because you're going to need to get yourself a straw blower. So one of these, yeah, obviously it depends on which bale you've gone for. So if you go into the shop menu, under animals, you've got your straw blowers. So you've got your Prima 15070 for your square bales. And then we got this one for your round bales. So depending on which one you've gone, well, depending on which bale you've gone for, depends on which one you go for on the old straw blower. So all you need to do is load it up with a bale, pull in like that, and then you'll get the icon R, B and Y. It's going to chop the bale up and then chuck it in for bedding. Right, fair enough. Okay, no problem. So now we've got the straw baling, bedding situation underhand. We're now going to move on to the robot. So obviously we've got all the stuff in. We've got a full hay and full straw. That's why the bales are still there. The silo bit of it's full. Silage is not, because you haven't put as... Well, to be fair, we put 2 bales into that one. So obviously there's not as much in, but it is going to use more silage anyway. So let's just see if the robot actually works. Now, if we come to the animals section there, so we have got that one with the feeding robot. So there's no food currently in there at the minute. There's no milk, nothing. Right, so we'll fast forward. Now, it should, I say should, start its thing when it reaches the top of the hour. So we'll come back when it's there. Right, so I fast forwarded, and to be fair, sort of, by the time I got back into the menu and put it back to my normal speed, it'd already gone past the hour. But if we look at the animal section now, it's saying TMR 1,277 litres. So it has worked, it just hasn't come out. Now, I am wondering whether it's because those bales are there. So I'm going to move them out of the way. We'll go up to the next hour, and we'll see if the robot comes out then. Right, so with 1 minute to go, let's have a little look. So we have got 1,277 litres of TMR in there, and then 166 litres of slurry. So everything's out the way. It's got stuff in there. It's got mineral feed in there. This should now... it should now work. There shouldn't be any reason why, unless there's not enough space that side. Then again, it let me place the building down. So if there wasn't enough space for the robot, why did it let me place the building down? You know, I didn't put it on free place mode or anything like that. So if it doesn't work now, I don't know. Maybe it's just something that needs a bit of an update. But we're going to find out very shortly. I mean, we have got plenty of stuff in there. So we've got 49,000 litres of hay, 29,000 silage, 49,000 straw, and 2,000 mineral feed. So when it's 11 o'clock, which it has done, surely that robot should work now. It's not coming out. Okay, let's have a look. So the food's gone up. We're now up to 2,500. And the slurry's up to 333. I mean, the productivity's doubled to 16%. Health is up 20%. I'm just... do we need to have this door? Now that should open the door itself. Do we need to have that door open? I mean, it's still not working. Well, the animation's still not working. The actual thing itself is working. It's putting the feed in, no problem. It's just a little bit random. But alright, okay. I'm going to fast forward a month anyway. I'm going to see how much milk we actually get out of it. Alright, so we're into the next month. If we take a look in the menu, it's definitely working. 33,000 litres has now been made of TMR out of our silos. I mean, to be fair, I did sleep through the night at the house, so I never actually watched it. But I don't know. I don't know if the robot animation is not working. I mean, I'm on Xbox, so it might be a console thing. It could just be a thing in general. But it is working to a certain degree. I mean, we see there, you know, we've got the health 100%. We've made 227 litres of buffalo milk so far. And then we've got 33,000 litres of the TMR ready to go. Actually, let's have a look at the other one. So the other one's, well, to be fair, that's run out of food. I mean, it's made 703 litres, and I only put 2 bales of silage into this one. So it's made nearly 3 times the amount of milk than the buffaloes did, well, the water buffaloes anyway, which is interesting. Okay, so once you've got your milk made, obviously you're going to bring a trailer down, and if you go into the animal section, to your category there, and you're going to want something like these. So these 3 here, you got the 2 icons on the left hand side. So you got the blue one, well, with the little blue disc behind the head, that's going to be your cow milk, and the yellow one is going to be your water buffalo milk. So get one of these and you can load it up and then take it to the shop. So where are we going to take the milk once it's made? So the first place you're going to be taking your milk is going to be to the dairy. Now, obviously, we've got 2 here. So the one is that I placed down, and then the one that's on the map as standard. So you come up to it there. You got your loading in point round the back. You then got your pallet spawn point round the back that side as well. Obviously, if you don't own a bakery, it will become a sell point. So you just get your money straight away. So for the standard cow's milk, you're going to get 2,200 £2,200 per 1,000 litres. Then we come to buffalo milk, you're going to get 11,000. Wow. 11,000 for buffalo milk. I mean, admittedly, it doesn't get produced as quick as cow milk, but 11 grand, over 2 grand. Wow, that's like nearly 6 times the amount. Wow. Wow, indeed. Now, once you've got your dairy on the go, you can make a few things. Now, if you've got your buffalo milk, you can bottle that up, no problem. You can also turn that into buffalo cheese or mozzarella. You can then make it into butter from the buffalo milk, then you butter it into standard milk. You can then also come down and make normal cheese. You can also come down and then make normal bottled milk. Right, okay, so bottled milk, whether it's buffaloes or cows, cheese, whether it's buffaloes or cows, and then butter from buffaloes or cows. Now, if you turn it into bottled milk, you could then take the cow bottled milk over to the bakery. So you got your pallet spawn point just there. Round the back is going to be your loading in point, and then you're going to take your bottled milk. We're going to the production chain menu, and you're going to be able to make some cakes. Well, I say make some cakes. You're going to be able to add it with some other ingredients to make some cakes. Fair enough. Now, to be fair, I'd say the bottled milk from the buffaloes, that's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous price. 11 grand for 1,000 litres. But, and I'll say this with a big B, if you was to then put that standard buffalo milk for 11 grand into bottled milk, you're only going to get 8 grand, which is interesting because you're putting it through a production chain. You would have thought you'd make more money at that, but all right, fair enough. Now, but if you turn that into the cheese or the buffalo mozzarella, you're going to get 24 grand. Wow. That's that could be the best one out of this. I mean, you have to see, obviously, you know, time over money. You know, cows going to produce it quicker rather than the buffaloes. But 24 grand for making some buffalo mozzarella from these. That's some decent cash to be had, that is.